What's going on, buddy? Keep moving.
Try to fix this one.
Me too. Had a health assessment this morning.
Yeah. For insurance?
Yeah.
You know why?
No. Oh well, yeah, I've had. No, this is really great. All right. We have the funky, sexy intro music tonight. Welcome to Stu and the Nunn. We are broadcasting live from Austin, Texas. Even though this is the zip code of Austin, this is the conservative side of Austin because we're out in the Steiner Ranch, which we're all big fans of. A great place for veteran outdoors. We've hosted our events here at Steiner Ranch for the past almost 5 years. It's Steiner Ranch is named after a training partner and shooting partner of this guy right here. You're gonna have to fix that there, Bush League. And Tommy Steiner, we're in his neighborhood.
We are his backyard.
And we are live in studio together for the first time in months.
In a while,
in months. So no Skype tonight.
And the first time in a long time with Tim.
So last time Tim was on the show, we were at Fire and Ice Pizza, and that was probably like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A year ago, like
Too
forever.
long, yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Two spelled T-O-O. And we are back with him because he is in town for just a flash.
Yeah.
He came in like a flash.
So if you're not tuning in, you're missing it.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Good thing this is going to be archived.
There may be a fast rope hanging out that
Yeah.
window. You may have to go.
But lots to talk about. We want to get things started. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
You look great. You've been putting these pictures up. I got a little concerned for you because you posted a picture the other day looking up out of what looked like a barrel chamber, and I was like, man, my brother needs to slow down a minute. Like, you can't be at elevation and then at depth in the same period of time.
Yeah.
Mixing gases.
Yeah.
You're not huffing. You're mixing.
I was mixing intently and intensely. The decompression chamber was not because I made an error in the dive. It was because I had a pre-planned flight 12 hours after being at depth of 200 feet for an hour. So we were doing an oxygen push to try to not get myself killed when I hopped on a plane.
And that was because you were flying back to America to shoot commercials for supportive companies of the military.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a 72-hour period. I went from hanging off the side of a 400-foot cliff to being 200 feet underwater on a U-boat to then flying across the Atlantic and then hopping on a plane to jump out of it onto a motorcycle and then ride a custom Harley built with Special Forces Tim Kennedy stuff. That was the 72-hour.
Wow.
So how's it?
Not staying still.
Yeah.
Already.
So you ended up getting a custom Harley built for you? Because I know this. I know how the story should go.
Yeah.
I know how the story should go. Jerk.
Yeah.
But that's all right. The full throttle.
Yeah. So the All-American energy drink is getting on board with. Oh man, I need this.
It's even cold. Oh.
This is gonna get good.
What is that fine nectar in a blue steel bottle?
I got you the all black.
It's energy.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
But right on the
Citrus
thing,
flavor.
right on the cans, on the black ones, it says supports the USO. Great stuff.
Yep.
Great military friendly company. So full throttle.
Awesome.
Yeah.
True story. In Iraq, I don't like Monster. I don't like Red Bull. I don't like Monster.
Can I sit that right there?
Nos is okay. Like I like Nos.
Yeah.
But my go-to is full throttle.
Yeah, I thought you were
And
about
so-
to say rip it.
No.
Okay.
No. So I ordered a pallet of full throttle from AFES.
Nice.
and like they couldn't deliver. I had it slung load, like baller status. Like you want to see a bunch of Joes get excited, watch like a sling load net of like nothing but full throttle, like coming down on like. Unfortunately, it was like a heavy drop, and we lost about 40.
Oh no!
But but anyway, hey. So one of the things we really wanted to talk to you about, you know, the feel of our show. Some of the things we like to talk about are national security, world issues, and also national issues. You came off of an amazing fight career. I think you made one of the most mature and responsible decisions. You know, looking at your future, looking at your family, and thinking about where you really want to be. And you know, you made the decision to like get down to work that's appropriate for yourself. So you re-upped.
Yeah. That seems so counterintuitive, doesn't it?
But like some of the things you talked about re-upping was a discussion about leadership, and specifically the warrior monk. Like now, everyone thinks you're the strong ranger. Like they don't realize like you're actually like the learned ranger. Yeah, not the smart, the learned.
My knuckles still drag on the ground, obviously. If you look at the back.
There's no hair there. It's the only place. Everything else is.
Yeah, it was unquestionably an eyes wide open, educated decision about the trajectory of what we were going to be doing internationally, what legislation would be going into place, and what our policies would look like overseas. I could not be party to 4 more years of catastrophic international policy that left friends of mine dead and countries and cities that you and I fought for in the hands of the enemy. Yeah. You know, places that I lost friends were quite literally handed back over to the people that we fought. Yeah. I couldn't handle that. So I was patiently waiting for, and I had timed my enlistment to be right after the new presidential election. And I had enough time after the presidential election to get a snapshot of what kind of people he would be appointing into offices that would have control over my life. And I chose with the people that he was selecting. I felt that we would have a chance. It's not anywhere near. Am I confident that we're gonna be on the right path, making all the right decisions? But looking at the McMasters and the Mattises, people that influence the jobs that a special forces guy does, I knew I'd be doing real work. I just want to do real work.
So I know you're friends with Jocko, and Jocko on his podcast recently read from a Monty quote, which is one of like my favorite. Growing up in Canada, you know, Montgomery was a field marshal that we learned a lot about in school. Like y'all had Patton, we had Monty.
I think he was better. Patton was better, just so we're clear. So they might have raced to Berlin, but
Monty got some work done. My grandfather worked directly for Monty in North Africa. You know, so like, you know, Monty put in some work against Rommel. Like he was a pretty solid cat. But the quote was like, morale, is a defining piece of leadership, and the morale of the United States forces dramatically increased when Secretary Mattis was sworn in. Even just the idea, like the memes that were going around, like pre his selection, like were earth shattering. And I myself was a doubter. I was a doubting Thomas because I was like, there's no. He doesn't have the balls to put in Mattis. Yeah. Like, I'd like to think that, but no. Like, it's going to be a McChrystal. It's going to be, like, I thought maybe he'd tap, the McCraven or somebody,
Atreus.
Like, I was like, there's no way he's going to, like, I mean, it would be a dream come true. And boom, like, every little war fighter that was on his knees.
I want to pick that mic up and drop it. That's what he did.
He did. And morale immediately increased. And things changed. The global landscape, the global understanding of America changed. And take all the rhetoric, take all like the bashing, all the names and all the stigmas that come with him, but look at what his delegation has done. Immediately put solid warfighters openly in northern Iraq and Syria. And today, Mosul is liberated, Raqqa is liberated. Today.
Yeah.
Like 8 years ago, forget about it. Like that happened. And that was a direct reflection of like, what do you need? Okay. Oh, we got some guys living in a tunnel complex. I got something for
Can you
that.
imagine me the JTAC? You're like, yeah, I need to call in some heavy ordnance. What do we have? Oh, we have a Moab. Can I drop that? Okay,
Wait one.
That takes a 5-star approval. Got it. Okay. Oh, son.
like no, quick, GoPro. You know, like, because he's like trying to turn the GoPro on himself. He's like, Moab, you say? Roger. Let me
He
designate.
probably had to take a moment for himself. He probably had to go,
And
probably
like,
made an O-face.
dude, and when like you heard like, whiskey like coming off of that bird, and like it's away, you're like, it's coming. Like I remember just waiting on a toe to impact something. Like I can't imagine waiting on like knowing that you're there and you're waiting on a Moab, just like you've got to like open, like you got to hold them open so you don't flinch. Like you don't want to miss that moment.
Yeah, it's just the reason that we were there. So we're back in Nangar, an area that we, Helmand and Nangar, we have fought for and we had lost over the past 4 years. And nobody knows these names. Like people see them come up in Zero Dark 30 or some other crappy movie. But we were there because Green Berets and Rangers had most recently been there trying to get in those tunnel complexes and died trying to do so. And people are like, oh man, we're losing SEALs and we're losing Rangers and we're losing Green Berets here. Oh, this is catastrophic. No, for the first time in almost a decade, we have guys like me doing what they're supposed to do, which is getting in a gunfight. That means we're doing the right thing for the first time in 10 years. We're not getting blown up on the side of the road. We're not getting killed in random terrorist attacks in places that we're not supposed to be. We're back in the enemy's face, putting them in the ground, whether literally or figuratively, to then drop a bomb on them and then seal them there forever.
The funny thing is like everyone tried to like discredit that. Like, oh, we can't, you can't say the mother of all bombs because, like Trump's like, selecting the gender. Like,
I don't think that bomb has to be gender neutral.
Right.
I'm just saying. It identifies as one thing.
Yeah. And the best part is like, everything that they did to discredit that one attack just kept getting refuted. And they're like, oh, and the number's growing. Yeah. Oh, we've dug out more. Oh, like, and just substantiating the reason to drop it in the first place. Mm-hmm. But like, why build something if you don't intend to use it? Like, there's a reason we put things like that in our arsenal.
A good friend of mine and former soldier is back over there now in a different role. He's stationed nearby. I'll say that. And he told me him and his boys sat there with cigars that night, watched the sky, just like they knew about it. They sat there all outside with cigars celebrating. Said I just phenomenal.
The era of buy with and through is back, where we're going to stand by our allies and we're going to fight with them. It's no longer an open hand reaching out with an olive branch that's being taken from our hands, set on fire, and then stuck up our ass. We're back to, we'll stand with you if you stand with freedom, if you stand with democracy, if you stand with liberty, if you stand with shared ideals of morals and ethics and integrity. We'll stand with you. If not, we're going to bury you.
2 years ago, Iranian patrol boats went up on one of our boats, took our people, humiliated them on international television. I personally think they humiliated themselves because they went with a small patrol boat. Today, Iranian patrol boats rolled up on a cruiser in the Persian Gulf and got lit up. What changed? The crews didn't. The boats didn't.
Got our balls back.
What changed? Exactly. And like that's so important. This summer has been this spring and summer has been a polarizing time. And one of the reasons for that is internationally, we're not seeing it to the extent that Europe's seeing it, but we're bearing witness to it, and we know it's on the horizon. Like, it's only a matter of time, and rhetoric is not going to help you. What's going to help you is decisive action. You guys, Blake, Mike, and the crew, Tommy, started Sheepdog. We've talked about it on the show almost weekly. It gets brought up. Mike's been on the show
he
talking.
Claims he knows us. He's in the chat on Facebook.
Yeah,
I know these guys.
Yeah. But like that focus. I mean, there's a lot of focuses that it covers. There's a lot of genres, I guess we could say. But you've kind of taken it on as an organizational mission to prepare for the future. Yeah. And everything about your podcast, even the one that got released yesterday, bringing up young sheepdogs, teaching our children. Last week's talking about physical fitness. Everything about there's some other subjects that you do on there, but sheepdog response is, I think you poorly named it, because the response is what happens when bad things happen, but you're taking a very proactive stance.
Yeah. We it might be misnamed. We struggled with that for a long time. You say we're preparing for the future, but realistically, America's changed, and we have been set on a course that we're trying to recover from. When Orlando and San Bernardino, New Jersey, Boston, New York are being attacked, and you have gays being killed in a nightclub, people at a Christmas party being murdered by machine gun fire, guys running in a Marine marathon trying to be blown up.
Right.
We have a problem. And when you look when this country was built, the people that built it were quintessentially the embodiment of the American spirit. They were pure badasses. They carved their existence into forests. They fought Indians and French and British. They threw tea in bays, and they didn't ask the British if we could have our freedom. We took up guns and arms and we killed them to get it. That is our heritage.
We called them to a fight.
Something's
I shouldn't say we. I don't want that's stolen valor.
No, you can own it a little bit.
No, but we wrote them a letter. Now it's done on Twitter. But back in the day, they didn't have to hashtag anybody. They just
they had more than 140 characters.
Yeah, and they wrote their names and said it's ours. We're gonna take it.
We fought tyranny in World War I. We came back in World War II and saved the world from fascism. We fought socialism and we fought communism all the way into the 80s. It's that was a legitimate war. It might have been cold, but we fought on every single continent trying to stop communism. And if you think it's a good thing and you like Bernie Sanders, go hang out in Venezuela for a week. Give it a whirl. And I don't know what happened in a decade, but we forgot that we built the Golden Gate Bridge and that we built the Chrysler Building and that our two towers had crumbled and that some people came and bombed Pearl Harbor and we didn't go and negotiate peace. We dropped nuclear weapons on them not once but twice to force a surrender. That's who the hell we are. That's what Americans are. And now we have people on our own shores in Orlando, in New Jersey, in Boston, in San Bernardino killing Americans that are celebrating what it means to be American. You're I don't care if you're gay, but when somebody's killing you because you're gay, I have a problem with that person.
Some might call that discrimination.
Yeah, I think so.
Perhaps hate.
So what we're doing, what Sheepdog is doing, is we're truly trying to bring the American spirit back to Americans. We're trying to show them the basic fundamentals, the cornerstones and the pillars of what it takes to be an American. This is not a free idea, America. The liberty, the freedom thing. It's not just you don't get handed to you. You have to earn that very costly thing. And it takes work, and it takes torn, calloused hands, and it takes bravery, and it takes courage, and it takes sacrifice. And this generation of entitled, lazy people looking for the shortcut, we're going to lose it. And myself, my partners, guys like you, we're doing everything that we can to give that back, that hope.
Yeah, I mean, people are lazy about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's not just talk about like personal defense. Like, people are lazy about their fitness. People are lazy about their food. People are lazy about their education. Like, if you don't, what was it, Evergreen University? Like, I disagree with you. So, like, I'm gonna like hold you hostage in your classroom till you give me an A. Like, why don't you just do the work?
Yeah.
The amount of time that you wasted holding like a professor, am I right? Like holding a professor like hostage, you could have just done the assignment. And then you like might have left that classroom with a little bit of knowledge instead of the ignorance that's coming out your mouth was you're like making demands against like the board of regents at a university. Like people are lazy about everything. You know,
But I want to take on that for a second. And I travel a fair amount overseas, and I know too. And what I see is a lot of people overseas, when they talk to me, are just like amazed at like, why are you guys doing like your political correctness and don't be like. I mean, I've had people in Europe go, don't be like us. Like, don't do that. I mean, are you seeing some of the same stuff?
Absolutely.
I've seen Australia. I've seen in Europe. People are just like
they know what is at the end of that road, you know, and it's not freedom. You know, it's pain. It's pain. It's higher taxes. It's not like people don't really. Free doesn't mean what people think it means. You know, free healthcare, free education. Nothing is free. I could promise you. I just got back from Norway, and which is truly socialist. And you know, when I'm like buying a bottle of wine and I'm paying $80 for it when it's $9 here, and they're like, oh, but we have free healthcare. It's like, no, you don't. Do you not understand?
$70 of your wine is
paying for your healthcare. Yeah. He's like, but you're paying for it, and like, no, you are all paying for it, as we are going to if we don't get our stuff straight. But there's a freedom on the far side of hard work that is more rewarding and more fulfilling than anything that anybody could ever give you.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to go to McDonald's and get food. Like it tastes nowhere near as good as the buffalo that you shot, that you then cleaned, that you brought home, that you carved, that you cooked, and that you put on your family's table. That's the best tasting thing that you could ever put in your mouth or your kid's mouth.
So Saturday night, your brother-in-law and sister-in-law broke bread at my house, and we had a Texas surf and turf. So we had an Axis roast, we had speckled trout, we had a salad. They brought some stuff, but everything that we put on the table, my family, our hands were involved in.
Yeah.
The tomatoes were grown in Jill's garden. Like the trout, Jessica caught. Wow. The Axis, I killed. And you know what, like my kids did? Like they love it. They eat it. You know, like because that's part of it. And that's what I was saying. Like people are lazy about their food. Like people are lazy about that process. They don't understand. Like, and I'm not saying that to, you know, be braggadocious as a certain someone would say. I'm like saying that because like I'm a man. Like, you know, God told me like I should conquer the earth. We
also we have eye teeth. We're carnivores. We're meant to eat meat for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So sheepdog response is not only doing stuff to help people prepare for not really that much in the future, could be for today, but you do much with folks. Do people come to you that want to be hunters and gatherers, that want to learn skills?
Absolutely.
And just say, you know, I grew up in a city. You know, I wouldn't know how to go catch a fish to feed my family if all hell went to.
Yeah, actually, a friend of ours, Casey Smith. We're talking about. So we already set up basic land navigation courses, easy hunting, tracking. You know, partnered with guys from like Atomic Athlete at Vanguard, so you can go and learn how to kill something and how to clean it. You know, very, very basic stuff. And then would have we're adding legitimate hunting portions where you're gonna learn how to track, you're gonna learn how to land navigate, you're gonna learn how to purify water, you're gonna learn how to clean an animal, you're gonna clean an animal, and you're gonna cook that animal, you're gonna prepare that animal, and you have to take like in SEER school. For you to graduate, you have to be able to have enough food, have a nice, good, healthy bowel movement, which is a necessary part of everything that you're
But
doing.
we're not talking about cooking rabbits in ammo cans. We're talking about like actually like getting down on something. Like there's no rangeisms in the real world. Like actually get down and like cook that thing. Maybe put a little. Because you and I have had we've had surf and turf at 11,000 feet.
Yes.
like you can like get down like in the wild. People just like you don't have to be closed-minded about it.
If you're good.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying we are, but
You're a pretty busy guy. Do you get out to hunt much? Do you get a chance to hunt?
Yeah. So I haven't had a day off since May. I've worked straight through, and I'll finish this work season at October 28th, and I won't go back to work until December 10th. And for
it's a good time of the year.
Yeah, I think. Let me see. I'm gonna carry the one. Yeah, that's hunting season.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take 6 weeks, and I'm gonna hunt. I'm gonna spend time with my family, and I'm disappear off the grid, and I'm just gonna fill my freezer up, and hopefully I'll remember what it's like to be normal for a bit.
Do you take Toby out much with you? He tells me somebody has to back you up a lot. I don't know. I thought it
only on hog ambushes.
Oh, okay.
Like I always take the right side.
There just in case,
I take the right side.
I might wing or even miss one, but Toby puts them on the ground.
Then we have to hide them.
Let's just find a hole.
Yeah. Speaking of hard at work, October 28th. Shortly after that, I believe H3 goes live, right?
Yep.
So while we have you, I know you guys are still in the process, so we can't talk about too much. But you guys are, we know because social media tells us you've been in Austria.
Yeah.
You just admitted you were in Norway.
Yeah.
So like you and the team, like you're spending more time in Europe this time versus South America, where that's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. So we it's a pattern of life. Yeah. When you're hunting people, one of the most important things is understanding what that person does, where that person lives, what that person eats, where they drive, where they poop, where they sleep. Their money, their mama. And
that sounds like a country song.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I think it's the first couple lyrics, right there, first couple bars.
So we went back to the normal existence of some of the highest leaders of the Third Reich. And we went back to their homes, and we tracked them from there and every place that they would go after that. So even current day, like if I'm trying to catch a human trafficker or a poacher, a drug smuggler that's on the run, like we bust them and he hits the ground running. There's like kind of some very basic things they always do.
Yeah.
They go back to their family, they go back to mama, they go back to what they know. They go and try to find easy access to money, and they try to go back to the easiest. If it's a male criminal, he's gonna go back to the girl that the most recently. Yeah. That's kind of what we're doing. We're taking fugitive apprehension 101. If you're a U.S. Marshal, you're like, yeah, that is what we do. That's what we're applying this template to a cold case that's 75 years old, going to places that we know they would have gone with different escape routes. And the reason I had to go back to Europe was the complexity of the things that we had to get into were requiring a man of my skills.
Skill sets.
Yeah.
You've, it's been a hugely popular show. And you guys
crazy.
Continue to find a ton of stuff. And it's just awesome. Congratulations.
So,
when my family tunes into the
awesome.
DVR is set, it's top of the list, and we look forward to it every episode.
I know, like we joke that maybe we're rewriting history, but we're showing things this season that no one has ever seen ever.
Well,
never has human eyes been set on this.
I would imagine so, but not even just rewriting history. We all know what our history books that are fed to us, however they're built and put together. We find now they're wrong as can be. Yeah. I mean, you really can't believe much in history books. We're seeing this now as Americans become more educated, as people, some small percentage of people, not just Americans, actually take the effort to look back and to learn facts, we realize that what we opened up that McGraw-Hill book to in middle school and elementary school didn't necessarily tell us exactly what happened back then. I think what you're doing is exposing some of that.
I got to tell you, man, one of the things that's so cool about the show is the cross section of people on it. You guys had him on your podcast a couple weeks ago. Gerald Rice. I mean, like that dude. So I read his Dam Busters and watched his Dam Buster thing because when I was a little kid, I watched this BBC movie on the story of the Dam Busters, and I just thought it was neat how they figured out how to skip a bomb into a dam. And I was like, I was a kid, and like I threw rocks across the beaver dam. I was like, all right, I just need to figure out how to get an explosive device. But I mean, he is one of the most renowned historians out there. I mean, and he's like untainted. That's the reason I'm a fan of him is because he's owned by no man. He's beholden to no one except the truth of the history. Obviously, like he's pretty proud of his heritage, and so if he's beholden to anything, it's to Her Majesty. But like that's, I mean, an asset that's ridiculous. You have like the historical document, that you got the teams of guys, creating those databases and going through that. But like bringing Mike on the show, like, because that dude ain't smart.
No.
Like he's got zero skills. Like I mean, a brilliant addition. I mean,
so Bob Baer, kind of HQ center, the nucleus of the team. As I'm in charge of everybody in field, he is directing the investigation. He's having an addition added to him this year that is his equivalent. She is one of the masterminds that brought down Bin Laden and Al Qaeda.
Oh wow!
Obviously separately,
right?
But when all of Zarqawi and Bin Laden, she was intimately involved with, and she is a new addition to our team.
Whew.
Yeah. So, like, if you look at the roster of the people involved in this, like, you do not want us looking for you. Thank God the person that we're looking for,
Have you guys thought about asset recovery?
Yeah. I could go get a yacht or a plane. I need a yacht.
Yeah. So with the shows, jet setting to support companies like Full Throttle, you still have your own projects going outside of this, some of which some of the people don't realize it kind of came up. You've always been with Ranger Up, still going strong, doing good things. You guys as a conglomerate between Black Rifle, Article 15, and Ranger Up, you guys just did the release of the documentary, the making of It's Not a War Story, the making of Range 15.
Yep.
That's pretty exciting. Getting some good Hollywood notoriety there. Getting some recognition in the veteran community. But you're like one of the reasons why I think you and I get along a lot is we're always looking for entrepreneurial opportunities.
Yeah.
And I mean, you tacked on to some crazy dudes. One dude with like his, Aussie Hunter Instagram videos that are making shoes called Whoobies.
Yeah.
And at first you're like, don't ever disrespect the Whoobie.
Yeah.
But then you realize like, if it's a Whoobie for your feet,
that sounds pretty nice.
It sounds pretty nice. You got Joe Rogan wearing them.
Foot in heaven.
You're like shooting videos of yourself like jumping out of Blackhawks in the water and putting fins on them and then climbing into Zodiacs. So how did the evolution of how is that pitch? Like, so Tim, we got these Whoobies for your feet. Like, how'd that evolution go to where you got behind a product that's so strong like that?
People send me stuff. A lot of stuff. Some of it I have time to try. Some of it I don't. Some of it I look at it and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, and it goes in the trash can, or I give it to somebody I don't like. But
Damn, you give me a ton of shit, bro. Awkward.
Every once in a while, you open something, you're like, because I remember wearing either Vans or Chuck Taylors on Target. You're kicking indoors, wearing Chuck Taylors. And taking Sharpies and darkening out the soles so they could be black, so I could have black on black. And like, you know, like stomping people in the face with Chuck Taylors and Vans. That's pretty cool.
Leaves a like distinctive print.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Stacey Adams would be really cool. Laced up some Stacey
It was missing some specific elements, you know, like drain holes, canvas and stitching that was strong enough, and flat soles that were flexible enough for you to move, because they were kind of Chuck Taylors were kind of rigid. Yeah. So I was like, well, these look like Chucks, and oh man, these are flexible. So let me go hop in the water with them, and then let me go jump out of C-130 with them. Then let me go jump out of Black Hawk with them. Then let me go up to like 28,000 feet and jump with them. Are my feet warm? Yeah, they're kind of chilly. You're like giving them the whole entire taste. Spend some time on the range to then find that like I really like these shoes. I have now almost worn out the soles of my own shoes doing super stupid things that would kill me. I like these shoes.
So have you been active in the development of the product development?
Yeah, so we have made small adjustments in what soles we're using, and kind of the new versions that will be coming in the next shipment as we burn through this inventory. And man, we burn through inventory, so everybody that buys Woodby shoes, thank you. But they're always improving. They're every generation, every iteration, we make adjustments. You know, like how the fin locks into the back of the shoe, to what the pattern is on the sole, how thick it is, the size of the drain holes, all of those little things which seem minuscule to somebody, unless you've blown out a shoe doing sprints. Then you're like, stupid shoe. That's not gonna happen with our shoes.
And like the I imagine, yeah, you probably, you know, get approached with like some crazy shenanigans. But it's such an interesting thing, because most vetrepreneurs, you know, if you have a conversation with someone that considers themselves a vetrepreneur, they want to tell you about their new beard oil, perhaps their coffee company, and you know, like their plan on leadership talks. Like, you know, they're like, oh, man, I got to, you know, Kelly Krieger and I, you know, are partners in Graybeard Publishing. And if I had $1 for every time like someone pitched my take on leadership, like we'd be a fully funded company, like producing like all kinds of crazy projects. But you know, like that's, I mean, I was impressed by it, especially because, you know, like I met the guys at SHOT Show. I guess it was a couple of years ago. We met them out there, like, and to see like that mindset, like that's an entrepreneur, like that's a group of guys like taking something unique, you know, not like, because how many t-shirt companies are there? There's a mittful times 10, you know, like these guys came up with an idea and they're seeing it through, and I'm impressed. And obviously, like, you know, you got behind it because like you wear them,
yeah,
you like put it through.
Anything that I'm not one of those give me some money and I'm gonna say I like your stuff. That's not how it works. You know, like I'm gonna either have used your stuff my whole entire life, or I'm gonna legitimately fall in love with your stuff and want to use it. I'm no joke leaving tomorrow to fly down to Corpus Christi to then hop on a C-130 to jump out onto the USS Lexington, to then go back to shore to get onto a Black Hawk, go up a little bit higher to do a different type of jump. Like that's my next 36 hours, 48 hours maybe. And I'm going to do that in Woobies, like 7.62 OD green in my multicam.
Like, see the product placement, like even to the model number.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's like, and if you're curious about the nomenclature,
yeah, the 5.56 is just too small for me. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm definitely
you're a 7.62 guy.
7.62 guy.
Yeah. I haven't graduated. I'm still on the 5. I'm still on the 5.5. I'm still on the 5.56 ramp here. Yeah. So you got a plan to do some hunting.
Yeah.
Like chilling out.
Take some time off.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But you're going balls to the wall until then.
Until the end of October. So I have three shows that Hunting Hitler's got to get finished, and then 2 others that one I have to start, and the other one I have to do the prep for, and we'll start filming that probably in December, January. In the middle of writing my first book, and you know, I'm still in. So I just got back from a deployment right before I went to Europe for Hunting Hitler. And when I get back from South America, before I go on my first hunting trip, I have to do another deployment. So hashtag FML.
The hashtag TK winning, ISIS losing.
Yeah.
Like the I mean,
I haven't heard him come back to any more threats in the news.
Man, every time I live feed, I'm like, so my current address is, and
you know that.
nothing.
So like,
Nothing.
you know, the world's been like,
the Moab may have taken the guy out.
yeah, maybe the combo.
That would take a lot of like moxie out of a man, you know, like everyone I know just died.
Like they that's a real thing. It's a real. I didn't think
I thought
it was
they were
real.
joking about that.
It's a real thing. The you know, the world's been like just, you know, glued to, you know, the McGregor Mayweather like world tour. You know. And
has that even happened? There's so much hype.
You know, it's the 29th of August or 26th of August or something.
Happened a week or two ago because it's been nonstop coverage.
But I think what everyone's excited about is because like they've like been face to face on stage, and like, you know, you think one guy's really good at smack talking, and you think the other guy's okay, and then you find out that the guy that's okay at smack talking dominates the dude that thought he was really good. You know, and like he thought he could pump up the crowd, and like, you know, they went to 4 spots. Toronto, London were the last 2 spots. Bronx was the first, and LA was the second. So like they opened up on home court for Mayweather, really. And I think he thought like he was going to own like Toronto. Apparently he forgot that that's part of the Commonwealth. You know, like, but the best part is like they're like face to face on stage, and like they're actually like saying things like in close proximity to each other. And, you know, I was sitting there watching the feed, you know, I was sitting there talking to somebody else, and I realized I was like, the ultimate, like, face-to-face would be, like, the ISIS comm director, which probably died in Raqqa, you know, this past week, unfortunately. So this might not come to fruition. And, like, and you on stage, and just giving him the opportunity, like, to say, like, no. Because we had talked a couple of years about, like, you know, like, going to, like, not doing bully beatdown, but like showing up at some troller's house and being like, so you said that I'm a
baby killer,
like an in-person like, mean tweets.
Yeah, but like knock on the dude's door and be like, so like, can you read that for me? I think I just want to make sure I understood it correctly. Yeah. I mean, like, it'd be awesome to just be like, so like, and like the epic rap battle, you know, like, go ISIS. You know?
So you were trying to recruit somebody in Central Texas to find me, to kill me. I am now here at your doorstep.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'd be 100% down for that.
If we allowed, in general, as a society, if we took like these keyboard warriors, these social justice warriors, and you put them in front of somebody, like
cowards.
You know, one of the things like made me so angry the other day, I watched like they're called the Vegan Family. They went and terrorized these 2, and they were like Billy Bobs. You know, they were fishing in Florida, and they're fishing off like this little like walkway into like a lake down near like Sarasota, and they were catching fish, and like the one dude caught like a little bass, and like he threw it on the deck behind him, and the Vegan Family came up and they start shaming him. Like, and they got their little baby in the stroller and stuff. And they just start shaming these people about, like, this fish has feelings and you don't understand. It's like, okay, one, he doesn't. Like, science can prove to you, like, their brain capacity doesn't have the neuron transmitted to, like, so they don't understand pain. Sorry, like, they have instinct, fight or flight, but they don't understand pain. So, like, he did not want to be brought out of the water, you know, but, like, you know, he's going to get eaten here in a little bit. And they, like, the way they harass the social justice warrior family, like, just, like, and part of me is like, throw them in the water. Like, just pick that scrawny, hippie, long-haired dude up. Pick him up by the man bun. It's an additional point of contact that you can utilize. You know, the tensile strength of hair is pretty strong, especially when it's braided. That's what we made ropes out of back in the day, right? Like, grab him, chuck him in the water, let him get one with the people that he's trying to, like, save. Throw a line in, try and hook him, and, like, see how far that goes. Like, when people confront people, like, they're only tough when they know that they can get away with it. And when they put a camera in front of people like automatically back down because they're like, oh, there's a camera in my face. Like, I might be shamed for like saying, like, no, like, like
Own it.
Like
We
you're
saw
fishing.
back where when two kids would fight, someone would hold someone back. Then that was biggest smack talking. Now that's just example.
Right. Yeah.
No one's holding you back.
The
You're
keyboard's the
holding back,
ultimate. If I wasn't behind my keyboard, like, but imagine what the world would be like if people like actually had to own their talk. Like Gaddafi learned, back in the day.
I think Andrew Jackson had learned that too.
Yeah.
There's a little beef. Like, we'll settle this.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, you like the Ayatollah Khomeini. You're like, oh, you want to hold our people? Oh, like, think like when we're starting to see that, I'm excited for that. I know we can't keep you forever because you got like a life, you got a beautiful family that you're trying to spend time with. Rolo's gonna be like an Instagram hero by the time he's 5. Like everything I do, one, he's bigger than my daughter.
He's massive.
He's just a tank, and like you got him doing pull-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't even do pull-ups.
Ew.
I can, but not as many. It's a different weight ratio.
I have him doing strongman stuff now.
Yeah.
So like instead of an
Atlas
Atlas
ball.
stone, I have him using like medicine balls. So he'll get down low and he'll squat. He'll pick up the medicine ball. He'll get it high in his chest. Then he'll like slam it on top of something.
Yeah.
You may eat tonight.
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
No, like,
Like parenting. Can you not do that with 2-year-olds?
I'm teaching my kids, like to read. Super awkward.
Reading's also important.
No, meanwhile, like my daughter's got a compound bow and she can throw some arrows.
Nice.
She can sling it. She's not allowed to do it in our backyard anymore. Apparently, though.
Neighbors don't like that much.
No, like and there's always a wild one.
Yeah.
So no more
Have
backyard.
you seen my daughter shoot? A compound bow.
No.
Yeah, she like.
Really?
Yeah.
Was she
You just
shooting?
Yes. That to you.
So
I should have gone like that, but
we started archery country doing like some basic stuff.
Yeah.
Got the right bow, a little bit more tutoring, and then backyard shooting, and then it's legit.
oh, so like she doesn't need a Vitals bow grip, although you might need one because it's got a laser integrated targeting system.
What? It has a laser.
Yeah, it's illegal for big game, not exotics
But not for two-legged.
No, like the
Moved quietly.
there's something about bow hunting. Like it's I love my rifles.
You're intimately connected to what you're hunting.
Yeah. I feel like I'm hunting.
Yeah.
Like Texas again, like not to say a disparaging thing, but Texas has the tendency to be lazy in terms of hunting sometimes because animals that are beautiful, huge, and like filled with great, delicious meat present themselves to the slaughter.
Yeah.
Like
So I like two kinds of hunting. I'm hunting, and then there's I'm filling my freezer, and I think both are fine. And I realize sometimes I have to work on my tradecraft. I have to work on my stalking. I have to work on moving quietly, and that in a bow forces you to do that. The ranges obviously are so much more condensed. Scent is so much more important. Sound, positioning, shot placement because you get one. All of those things become so much more important. And then there is pulling out the 300 Win Mag or the 30-06 or the 308 and putting something on the ground to fill the freezer.
Yeah.
That's something different.
headshot.
Totally fine.
Headshot.
Yeah.
Don't ruin the meat.
No,
Yeah.
headshot. The so you just you're repping 511.
Mm-hmm.
You're still like strong with on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's your top supplement out of on it that you're using right now?
The Caveman Coffee Medium Roast, their Himalayan salt, and their pre-workout are kind of like my everyday in
Your
use
go-to?
in some form. Yeah.
You use the Alpha Brain at all?
Not much.
Yeah.
I have and I do and I like it. I've been really pushing eating real food and getting my supplementation through real food for the past 4 or 5 months. I'm trying to find
what was the paradigm shift that made you like push that direction?
So as like an athlete, the goal is to be able to perform in a very specific way, and you're using all of these different things for this very precise purpose of 5-minute rounds. Now I'm diving at 200 feet. I'm hanging off the side of cliffs. I'm crawling through a tunnel that collapses on me, and I get stuck in it for 16 hours. Like that's now my normal life. People are shooting at me, and it's not going to be 5-minute rounds. It might be when I was in the Western Sahara, in between Morocco and Algeria. It ended up, I was in there for like 3 days. So my body has to be able to adapt and overcome, and not be so. I don't need to be a thoroughbred on the racetrack. I need to be a Clydesdale with a spike sticking out of its chest.
So, good thing you had that Gerber pry bar.
Yeah. No, we're joking.
No, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Like, good thing you had
I
that.
legitimately got stuck inside of a tunnel for 16 hours that collapsed on me. I had a circular saw that ran out of batteries. I guess a circular saw that's not gas powered, that's battery powered, to me is a grinder. Thank you, Europe, for limiting.
But I mean, carbon monoxide.
It would have been
in
worse.
the water. Yeah, or down below. I mean, in a cave. Yeah.
Yeah, and 100% that pry bar earned its weight in gold.
Well, Gerber's a good company. They're supporting Veteran Outdoors this year. We're thankful for their support. They tremendous product, but so versatile, and you just never know if you have the right tool for the job.
Yeah.
And a pry bar, I mean, like, think about it. When you went into the cave, you're like, all right, good thing.
Well, if you ever need it, but if you do, like say it's worth it.
Yeah. I had a collapsible shovel. It's like a mini e-tool from Gerber as well, and I ended up I used that so much in 16 hours that one side of it, because it's almost like a triangle at the top. Yeah. It's a little flattened point. It ended up being
look like that.
Wait, yeah, that is how it looks in the shovel. But if you ground this right here so that it was at that angle,
just from working it,
from like prying it into cement over 16 hours straight. So that's awesome.
All right, well,
that's something you're gonna forget.
Super stupid.
Well, we definitely appreciate you taking the time to, we know you're a busy guy. We're excited for Double H3. I look forward to another awesome premiere.
Yeah.
It's always exciting to see like the growth of it. 2 years ago, we were at a pizza joint with probably like 50 people eating ceviche. Dude, that was like.
It's good.
Oh yeah, no, it was on point. The ceviche was on point. And then last year to a sold out Alamo, and it just amazing, like the growth, the popularity of the show. Mike lives in Georgetown. As he's walking down the street there, people are recognizing him. That just fantastic stuff to see. Like, couldn't have happened to better dudes, except the custom Harley thing. Kind of got an issue with that, but that's cool. Because
I don't think he'll be thrown at your way.
No, one, I'm a Ducati guy, but there's a background story to like custom Harleys, and something that was supposed to happen but can't because Nazis. Nazis ruin everything, man. Nazis ruin everything. But we wish you the best. Good luck on the jumps in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
We look forward to great social media coverage of Whoobies while you're doing it. Because I'm sure the DoD appreciate you utilizing their aircraft while you're promoting your products. You're like, as we go down.
Sky sharking.
There is specific USAFIC policy about personal recording devices during airborne operations, which I am familiar with, and I knowingly ignore.
Well, can't beat that.
No.
But
UCMJ coming to his way.
Yeah. Well, at least a strongly worded letter.
Yeah. Yes.
But like the UN send those out all the time. No one listens.
No.
So if heads of state don't have to listen, you don't.
Yeah.
So it's all good. But appreciate you coming by, bro. Thanks for all the support of the show. And be safe out there. Look forward to having you back after the spring session, and we'll do it all over again. and then maybe we'll go kill something because I've been known. I've been known
To back them up.
to kill the ones on the right.
Yeah.
They're squirters, man.
Yeah.
They're squirters.
Squirters die.
Like, have I ever told you like what it's like to hog hunt with him? So like, there's 4 possible scenarios. One is you've laid corn out and you've prepared a beautiful linear ambush, to which the animals present themselves, and he's in charge of the countdown.
Of the initiation.
He's in charge, and so he'll be like, on my mark, and you're like, all right, blah, 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 and he goes. There's that. So that's like if you're in a static position.
Mm-hmm.
There's another scenario where you're like, you roll up on an animal, and say like there's a herd in an animal, and you're like a Polaris. You can expect that he's not going to wait for you to stop the Polaris so that you can enjoy and engage. You can just expect being showered with lead. So there's that scenario. Or there's the third scenario that you're just randomly driving down the road in your F-150 and a herd come in front of you, and you ghost ride the whip so the two of you can bail out and shoot while your F-150's like ghost riding down the road. And it's like, so like there's all kinds of scenarios that are
All
possible.
of them are fun.
They're all possible scenarios. You just never know.
None of them are boring or static.
But be safe out there. Take care of the family, because there's nothing more important than family in life. It doesn't matter about money. It doesn't matter about cool guy gear. It really matters about our kids and the legacy that we're leading. Really enjoyed the podcast about raising good sheepdogs. I know that these aren't words that you say; they're actually words that you live. And there's a big difference in our society with people that like to talk and people that actually just go out and do it. And you go out and do it. You inspire us. Like you got me like super convicted, a couple months ago when you called me fat. Appreciate that. I'm down 15 pounds, Dick. Yes. And
Day by day.
I didn't know your nickname was Richard.
Yeah. Assholes.
But great to have you on. And with that, tune in next week. We'll have another great guest, and we will be at our normal time.
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah. Again, Tim, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Good to see you again. I know it's a time sparingly, so we appreciate you joining us. And tune in next week. You never know who we're going to have.
You never know.
All right, everybody, have a good night.
This is the technical part of our camera guy.
Yeah, we don't have a...
Like, watch the camera guy.